Thanks for joining us today. I'm Vic with thepracticalprepper.com, where we focus on everyday preps for everyday events. And today is packaging day. Around here, we order our stores a little bit at a time. We'll pile them up, we'll stack them up, we'll get them ready to go. Hence packaging day, we're ready. Today what we've got to show you is how our technique is for packaging in 5-gallon buckets. And today we're going to do 150 pounds of hard red winter wheat. We're going to do 50 pounds of corn, about 50 pounds of salt, about the same of sugar, and we've got about 100 pounds of dried pasta to do. Should be interesting for you, so stick with us. I'm going to show in a later video, I'm going to show the non-fat powdered milk, how to break that down and package it into smaller Mylar. And I also don't want to do a comparison test with some of the Honeyville farms. They've got a whey product that's a milk substitute, and I want to see how that compares to non-fat dry milk. So coming up next, we're going to get into packaging. Let's go see how it's done. Alrighty then, let's talk about some of the parts and pieces that go into storing in buckets. First and foremost, let's start with a bucket. The buckets that I use are pretty much a standard weight. I have found probably the best supplier cost-wise, great shipping, is US Plastics, and the buckets were running me around $3.50 each, and the lids are about $1.17. The nice thing about their lids is that they have a real nice O-ring seal inside, and some don't, and I like this second seal. The old adage, one is none and two is one, holds. If you lose part of your seal, you'll still have something. Two things let me talk about real quick. The enemies of food storage is light and air. If you can keep whatever might be left in that bucket without oxygen, it'll die. Food that's exposed to light, it will start losing its food value rather quickly. So hence the Mylar bags, and hence one of the other things that we're going to put in the Mylar is our oxygen absorbers. These are 1500 cc absorbers, and if you'll check some of the sites, you'll find that the recommendation from the oxygen absorber guys who make them is a 1500, one per bucket. I like to put two. The idea is to get all the air out, and if one doesn't quite perform perfectly, you've got redundancy, and I like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put all that together in a Mylar bag. These are from a company called Sorbent Systems. They're 20 by 30, they're 4.3 mil. Good heavy bags. They seal real well, and Sorbent Systems seem to have about the best price. They were about $1.32 a piece. If you buy 40, if you buy 50, the price gets lower. So anyway, I think we're pretty much set. One thing I do want to point out is that on packaging day, we have saved up quite a bit of food. When I open this oxygen absorber package, they will start absorbing oxygen. So it's important to move as quickly and efficiently as you can. So have your buckets laid out, have all of your product in the Mylar, have your heating iron ready to go to close everything up, and just once you open it up, drop them in and move as efficiently as you can. So let's get into packaging one up, and here we go. Okay, let's start with our first bucket. The one thing I'm going to do here for you on this one is I'm going to do 50 pounds of hard red winter wheat, so I'll show you the process. Buckets are ready, so you just want to take your Mylar bag, what you're going to want to do is set it in, form it on the bottom as close as you can to the bottom, to the bottom of the bucket. Once you start putting it in, the wheat's weight will help you do that, but also that will kind of give you a little bit of a head start. If you happen to pour the whole bag, it's 50 pounds, so you don't want a problem. So this is probably the way that I set it up. At this point, you can just add your wheat. Generally 50 pounds will fit in one or two buckets. Once you get it the initial, I don't know, 3/4 full or so, just go ahead and pull up on the bag. It'll kind of help fill in the voids and get the rest of it ready. So that's about half. Do one more bucket here. Okay, those are about pretty evenly filled. Just a touch more on this one. I try to even them out. Now you're going to have some airspace. That's fine. As you fold the bag, I'll show you how you fold it in, and you'll take care of that. Okay, we're back. Here's the 2 buckets that we've got wheat in. So as you can see, they're better than 3/4. They're most of the way full. So I'm going to move this one out of the way for the moment. We'll concentrate on this one. Now, at this point, I don't have any oxygen absorber in. What I will generally do is I will fold the bag and start to go ahead and do the sealing at this point, and show you how that goes. If you pull your bag across on the seams, you've got a nice flat spot to seal. And at this point, I don't really care how much air is in the bag. What I'm going to do is I'm going to seal till about here. So all this is going to get sealed up. Now I've got enough to drop my oxygen absorbers in. I'll compress the bag down to get as much air out as I can, and I'll do the last clamp on this seal. And with that, it'll be finished. Now let me show you my sealer. This is my little clamshell, and it's a 6-inch Teflon coated hot jaw sealer. It's made by Impax Corporation Sorbent Systems. Again, good guys. It's a clamp, so you can hold it back here and it's not hot at all. It clamps shut. It's hot right now. Got a couple settings here and does a nice job. So generally I'll start on the outside and I'll hold this. It's about that long. You can see the seal right here. What I'll do then is I'll overlap the seal. I'll come across. I'll probably count to about 30. Move it across again. Overlap it. Now this is my 3rd clamp. With the next clamp, I'll be able to seal the bag up completely. So that'll be pretty much ready. I'm going to do the same thing with the other bag because I don't want to expose the oxygen absorbers for too long. My time right now is I'm actually counting to about 15. This particular sealer, if it's in colder weather, sometimes it will take 30 seconds or 45 seconds to seal just because of the ambient air temperature, but it's still pretty warm here, mid-September, so we're okay. So that should have that one sealed. We're now ready to add the oxygen absorbers. This is a fresh package. I haven't even opened it yet. Okay. So we're going to take 2 absorbers. So we've got 2 here. I'm going to open up the corner here. I'm going to drop them in. That one's set. Again, kind of like I said, you know, you don't have to be in a big hurry, but just work steadily at it. And thing will be just fine. So now we're ready for the final seal. What I will do is I will fold it down. The idea at this point is to get as much air out as you can. Now all I really have left to do is this small corner right here. Just grab your, overlay it. Okay, should be good on that one. Now, what will happen if you look at this, there's still a little bit of air in this bucket. That's okay. What I do is I don't close these buckets up. I will check these tomorrow. And what will happen is this should end up looking like the vacuum packed coffee that you buy in the store. Like a whole sack of marbles, you can see every marble. It should almost look like that tomorrow. And it will look like that before I seal this to make sure my oxygen absorbers have done their job. So we'll look at this tomorrow and we'll look at the tail end of that. Thanks. So what I'd like to show you now that the buckets are complete, let me kind of show you how big packaging day is here. You can see the buckets kind of in front of you, and it seems to be an endless sea of them. The empty packages, the wheat, the sugar. So this is the result of the 100 pounds of pasta, 150 pounds of hard red winter wheat, 50 pounds of yellow corn, 50 pounds of salt, 50 pounds of sugar. And I'll just kind of take you for a little tour right here. This is kind of looks like pre-packaging. As I mentioned, I get it to this point, and now I'm ready to start closing. And I'll do the closure the same doggone way. I'll put, I'll crimp or I'll seal most of it, leaving a little opening at the last minute. That's where we're going to put the oxygen absorber in, and then we're going to finish sealing it up. Then they'll just sit here and I'll watch them, and I'll make sure that what I was showing you right here continues to happen, so that they dimple down, and by doing that they will create their own vacuum. You can see the little dimples. That is wheat. Same with over here. Vic back with you for the Practical Prepper. Thanks for tuning in. As you can see, I've certainly got my work cut out for me. I got a lot of stuff to seal up. So remember, I showed you the stores list. Remember to get your stores list off the site. Useful tool, it's free. Jump on it, and let's all get prepared for what may be coming, what may not be coming. But it's something we can do. It's every day, and it's an everyday prep. Thanks.